between the Green Bay Packers and the Carolina Panthers. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away, and we may have a face mask here right at the start. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A shotgun snap for Newton. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw again on 2nd down. Newton. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Newton now to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hodges. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. From midfield, here's Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Credit that sack to Jabal Sheard.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's taken it around the 40. Sheds off the tackle. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position.
That's it. Ready? 44. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 38 yards on the scamper there. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
On 1st and goal, Drake. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Gano the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
54. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Mike's by four.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Throw left side complete. That's Hodges. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
319. Mike, 54. Shift. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check side. 54. Hey, Haywood. Slit.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Cook following the penalty. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 34-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't 30. Mike by 4. Mike by 4.
Hey, seam six. Seam six.
Check right. Hey, black.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here's Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. On second down, it's Pollard. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. So on fourth down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 11 yards there, first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Rodgers setting up the screen for Cook. Only 3 there on the screen at second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner. Everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
He's going to launch this thing. Wait. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now.
Get off the field, defense. Kill. Hey, 626.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike left. Watch 54. Watch 54. Right.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime, something to build on maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. To throw on 3rd down, Newton. Got his target, Samuel. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
On 1st down, Newton. His throw incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore. That'll bring up 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And he comes back with one complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Newton now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Throwing is Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Back to throw, Newton. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Newton. Wright's got it. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44.
Hey, Delta.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-3.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Throwing is Rodgers. Looking deep downfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. From just shy of midfield, Newton. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a play fake, and it's Newton. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Pollard going to try the right side. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Now it's Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. The drive starts with a completion, left side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
158! 54! There it goes! Sponge! No! Hey, Mike! Mike 4. Hey, 88!
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Tackled by Jordan Willis.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They run it again with Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
319! Check. Walk 54. Here we go. 26. Zoom. Move. Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. You can't block me. Hey, take 26. Go to 50. 319.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Ken Crawley.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. On 2nd and 10. Newton, and he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And taken right at the 35. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. On the NFL scoreboard elsewhere, 3rd quarter down in Arizona. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Hey, Mike's 7.
Mike's 59. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. 59's Mike.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got his man on the crossing route. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
He can't make it. He's not going to get me. Show him up.
On first down, Cook. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Again, it's Cook. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. Now a play fake here on first down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But it'll be second and goal.
Leads to second and goal from the 10-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Yeah, let's get set lunch.
Inside.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Danny.
Five.
Mike 54. Mike 54.
Rodgers again here on second and 10. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this third quarter of play. Two incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on third and goal here.
30.
54.
Smooth.
Check. Watch 54. Pick it up.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Now Pollard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On first down, Drake. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
At the 50-yard line.
What's that? 180.
Line 36. Know your job.
Right back to Drake. Jair Alexander up to make the tackle. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds. And then the last second, oh, no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
He sets to fire deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Rodgers now going to throw again. He's going to let this one go deep. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Rodgers operating from the gun. Trying to lay one up deep. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 39. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Officially, no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Gonna run again here with Pollard. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Panthers on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Newton. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the 1st quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have 1 right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Box it.
Rodgers to throw again. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Here we go. Here we go. Right there.
On 3rd down, Rodgers eluding the pressure right. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Mike, check. Again, 300. Again, 300. Bravo. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
The Packers go for it. Rodgers. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Ready.
Line 36. You got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here.
Newton on 1st down. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left, and then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
36. Check pass. Check.
On the toss play, this is Drake. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Kenyon Drake, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about...
He's got a man, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Yeah.
Time to see me.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Check 99. Check 99.
Over.
Mike 54. Mike 54.
Let's get the ball.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Now a desperation throw deep down. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off inside the 10. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. Third and long, it's Newton. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. They get 7 there, but it brings up fourth. Here's Michael Pilardi now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls, plural. But
I like where we're going with this, though. You say one to represent, like the best player of all of that. And I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for Carolina, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Packers, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down.
gon' slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. Put the intent on, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Switch 90 day of my life, knows my